This tutorial will walk you through how to submit exercise 9 using an online graphing calculator without having to write it out. You can submit it through the PDF form itself. So let me show you how to work through that. The assignment we're doing is from, there it is, week 6, the graphing, exercise 9. So we'll click in there. We can access the graphing calculator here, so I'm going to go ahead and bring that up. I have to allow Adobe Flash to run there. So here is the graphing calculator you can use. If you have another one that you like, that's perfectly fine. And then exercise 9, I'm going to open that up over here and show you how to paste the images we're going to put in exercise 9. So let's shrink this down for now. Let's go to the graphing calculator, and let's see, we need to figure out what graph to make first. So let's bring back up the assignment. I need to graph y equals sine x. So let me come over here. I just type in here sine of x. There's also a sine button over here. For the sine button particularly, and for the cosine and tangent, you need to be in degree mode. It doesn't matter for any other function, but sine, cosine, and tangent, and their inverses need to be in degree mode. So that's set. I also need to set up the domain that's being assigned to me. So the domain is between -360 and +360. So I can do that. I will just put in -360 here, and +360 here. And you can put in a step size. The computer will pick something reasonable. I think in class we suggested 45 degree units. I'm going to go ahead and knowing what this graph is going to look like, I'm going to put some numbers in here that make sense in a little bit. But I'm going to graph it first this way so you see what's happening. Also, if you want to set up the table, you notice over here that you're asked to put in x's and y's. You can let this computer program do it. I want to start at the low end, -360, and we'll do step sizes of 45 so that this matches up with the x-axis values. So let me go ahead and do that. Let's go back to the equations, and then I'll hit the graph. And you see that there's the nice sine wave going on. And my table has been built, and I can just copy and paste these numbers into the table right here. You just type in there, slide it over, -360, -315, etc., etc. And then you can type these numbers in as well. How many digits should I put? Let's put 2 digits. That should be fine. And you just fill that whole thing out there as far as you need to go. You can also set your table for later points. When you get up to 0, you can do the graphing there, and it fills out the numbers for you, so you can go as high as you need to go there. My graph here is a little short, so I think I'd like to have a little more spreading in the vertical direction. So now that I've plotted it, I know I can do that. It goes between plus and minus 1. Notice the biggest number we have over here is 1, and the lowest number we have is -1. I'm going to add a little bit of extra room here, just 1.2 basically, to give myself a better picture. The tick units don't matter too much. We'll just graph it, see what we get. Nice, right? So there's a nice graph. I'd like to capture this now, and so the way to do that is to go to the snipping tool, or whatever tool you're using for the capture of screen images. We'll do new. I'm going to copy that little section. I'm going to save that to my desktop, and I'll be able to get to that just in a little bit. Let's call it cap. We'll call it sine for now. Okay. Good. So that is captured. Rather than have to draw it in, which you're perfectly fine doing if you like to, but this particular PDF has a way to insert. You just click in the area there, and it's asking you to put the file in. So I'm going to go to my desktop. What did I call it? Sine. Right there. Okay, and there it is. I don't have to actually draw lines and draw axes and connect the dots and all that. The computer program will do it for me. So this exercise is mainly having you get familiar with the shapes, and graphing is a good way to do that. But I know it's very tedious to go point by point, and so this is a nice shortcut for you. If you'd rather do this method, that's perfectly fine. And then move on to the next. The cosine, it gives you The settings you need to put, you can put in the table and type in the cosine. You can just replace everything. Actually, over here, I'll go ahead and do it once for you. Cosine. All the numbers are going to be very similar, so you graph that, and you notice that it's exactly the same wiggly shape, but a little bit different location where it starts. So go ahead and do those if that appeals to you, and that'd be perfectly fine to submit that PDF with these images copied into it. Hope that helps. Let me know if you have other questions.